I don't know if I've done the title for this one. You might be able to add a title.
I will be,
end, Michelle.
if I can
so
find
I just
it.
walked up. I went up to the counter. So if anybody's in, do the edit for the name and things later, Michelle. And I got my coffee and my banh mi, and came to sit down. And then I seemed to realise that we weren't live. We weren't public. Did I give it a name this time?
I don't know, it's not on me I haven't got it.
We're not doing well today.
Ah.
Share it out to Michelle. Well, I've got one viewer in there.
Don't know then.
Okay, I'm really ballsing this up. Somebody let me know that it's live. Give it to me. We're not, apparently, so you're not even receiving WhatsApp notifications?
No.
Well, DJ ME is in there.
Okay, well you carry on. Ignore me. I'll be quiet here in the
Gary,
background.
how are you, man? Monica, oh, people are in. And have we got sound? Michelle can't find the stream, so she thinks we're not live. We've got music. We're in Highland Coffee in Ninh Binh. I just went up, so six or seven coming in, Michelle. So I just went up to the counter.
There we are.
And I grabbed my tray and my coffee and my tiny baguette. Yeah. My coffee will be cold by the time we get this going.
It's all right, because mine's...
You're not? No, we're not.
Mine's cold anyway. Oh, you've got a cookie.
Oh, I got a cookie, so I got myself a get off my bloody cookie. I'll make her sit over the other side, I will. So I've got a lovely drip coffee. She was actually making fresh drip coffee.
The thin coffee?
Yeah, they're big things, they're kind of huge. Here we are.
Okay.
We're in this big Highland Coffee store. And we're actually, I'll talk to you about it in a moment.
Anne's in a taxi watching it. Cool. So
share it out on, anyone out there can share it on their Facebook or something to help Michelle, because she's she's literally just eyeing up my cookie. I've got a banh mi. Now hang on, I've got a banh mi. It is absolutely huge.
It's more like a pencil.
But this is what they've started doing in Highland Coffee. When we were here in Vietnam last time, the banh mis were big, right?
Yeah.
And now they're literally just a banh mi swai, I think they call it, swai or banh mi swai. It's a tiny little, really a snack banh mi. But I've got myself a fresh. We're obviously sponsored today by Highland Coffee. Not. I better turn that around. A little catch up. Anne, you're in a taxi. In which city are you in a taxi?
She's got to finish the turquoise tiao.
Oh, she's in KL.
So she might have to log off, she says.
Oh, rich, strong, beautiful. Do you want a little bite of my cookie?
Oh no, I'll be dunking it.
Not if I'm dunking it.
No, I
dunked it now.
don't want it dunked.
So,
oh, that's sweet.
I wonder if I can get that round a little bit. Oh no, Michelle, I have to just...
I'll just be here, try that.
So Michelle's got... Is it very sweet?
It's very sweet. I needed your cookie.
Wow.
I'm going to have to add some of your water to it. I let my eyes melt a little bit.
We've been out on an adventure. And it's a coffee adventure today. I went out last night looking for unsweetened, unmilked coffee. And I walked for an hour and a half. And I couldn't find one store that would sell any unsweetened coffee. And I gave up in the end. I was so hot, and so I walked. How long was I out for? At least a couple of hour and a half?
Yeah, probably.
2 hours nearly?
Yeah.
6 hours maybe? 14 hours. I was at Goldface.
Just under an hour.
I was at Goldface for 14 hours looking for unsweetened coffee. And there was nowhere that would sell me unsweetened coffee in Ninh Binh, because when we're in Ninh Binh, well, we're not in Ninh Binh that most of the tourists go to, we're in Ninh Binh, the city. So,
where the train comes to, isn't it?
Where the train comes to. So most of the tourists when they come to Ninh they're going out to Tampok or Nha Trang, Trang Na, Trang An. And I just say at the beginning of it, thanks to An Yuen again, because I said it at the end of the live stream last time, and I just wanted to say to An Yuen, thank you for the PayPal that you sent to help Michelle sort out her phone. Thank you very much. I'll just say that at the beginning, because I said it right at the end of a long stream last time. Say it at the beginning today. So yeah, we're not in the tourist area. We've just walked to get here today, about 20 minutes walk? And
more than that,
not
probably.
seen a single tourist.
No.
Not one tourist.
No.
Because nobody comes to Ninh Binh as a city. They all come to Ninh Binh as a region. And I can tell you now, this city is excellent. It really is a good place.
Good place, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd spent more time in Ninh Binh than I did out in the Tampok area, which is where we were.
Well, that's Ninh Binh province, isn't it? That's why it gets the name of Ninh Binh.
You know what?
Shall I say who's in?
Yes, please.
Okay, so DJ Me123, which is Gary in Cambridge, he says hi. Monica Anderson says hello. Anne we know is in a taxi on her way to Banksa. Dwayne's in, says hello.
Dwayne, today?
And Anne says, have you had that Golden Weasel coffee?
Not this time, Anne. I had it once in Vietnam before, but I don't think it was real. And to be honest, you couldn't tell the difference between that and the coffee. So it's hard to be for sure that you're actually getting the real Weasel coffee. The light is fluttering in and out, I think because we've got a window behind us.
Okay. And Gary says, guess what? It's that time of annual Steve's Kitchen Christmas cake recipe, which is a firm family favourite. That's a
Firm family favourite. Any more questions while I munch on my banh mi?
No, I think I'm caught up. Anybody else in who is lurking?
So this was an impromptu live stream. I'll turn the camera just a second so you can see Highland Coffee here. It's a nice place. These are modern this is the equivalent of Starbucks in the USA, but quite a bit cheaper than Starbucks. But a nice sort of venue.
Yeah.
So a good coffee in here will cost you around about, 30? I think this
They start at about 30.
About 30,000.
Yeah, and then upwards and upwards and upwards.
Now I have to be honest, our favourite little coffee shop just down the road here is a local guy, and his is half the price.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's actually half the price. 17.
Yeah.
So very close to half the price, and super. But we just thought we'd come in here to get out of the heat a little bit. We didn't come in to do a live stream actually, I just decided.
We just thought we'd check it out, have a bit of a cool down because it's warm. These other baguettes are warm, I mean the banh mi are warm, aren't they? How's your coffee? Strong?
Always good.
Okay. All the chaps have gone quiet.
So hopefully the picture is good. Can you share that out on
I did. I was starting to, and then I got.
I'll have a little chat with everyone. We've got some big plans coming up. We've decided. I don't know what you guys think about it. We've decided we're going to be having to leave Hanoi because time constraints. We've actually got to come back to Hanoi in not that far distant future. So we've been trying to work out somewhere we can go, not too far away, that we haven't been before, and somewhere that would be kind of cool.
Any guesses?
Any guesses? Yeah, any guesses? Just been talking to one of my good friends in Malaysia, actually, Anne. We're not going to Malaysia.
No.
Don't guess Malaysia. It's a place we haven't been before. Really looking forward to it. Going very soon. I mean, within the next handful of days.
Okay. Gary says, how far ahead do you plan your next destinations?
Well, we just planned this one last night.
And when do we leave? Soon.
Not that far away. But we've still got a little bit of content still to share with you here, because we've got we made some videos today even. Yesterday. It's this morning, so it feels like today. So we've got some really cool content coming from Vietnam, but we are going to be heading somewhere new. Anybody guessing there, Michelle?
No, not yet.
I bet someone will guess it, but it's anyone who knows roughly where we've been before will probably be able to guess.
Yeah, it's not super far away because we've got to come back.
Do you have any more clues?
I'm just helping them out because nobody's guessing.
This is the tiniest banh mi.
It's tuna, isn't it?
It's actually chicken.
Really?
You can barely tell, right?
No, I thought it was tuna.
This is the tiniest banh mi. A little disappointing, I have to say.
No veggies. No coriander. Can't call it a banh mi that hasn't got coriander in it.
It's a breadstick.
It's a breadstick, absolutely.
They're only
nobody can
10,000. So
It's what?
they're only 10,000, but they're not worth 10,000. They're not worth 10,000.
No, because you can get a nice egg banh mi for only about 15, can't you?
Banh mi upla.
So Anne says, so small and thin.
It's
And Gary says, not John O'Groats, is it?
man.
Oh, you got it. We're starting again. It's that time of year, isn't it?
We are thinking anyway. This is the plan. Is anyone taking a guess?
So Mary said sandwich inflation.
Sandwich inflation. It is. Do you know? We'll probably have a nice. We're not meant to be eating much today anyway, so that's good.
Yeah. Yes, that's a little taste.
This is actually a kind of fasting day for Michelle and I, so we really shouldn't be having carbohydrates. Shall I finish that one for you?
No, you had a cookie.
The only problem with this angle is you're not in it.
It's all right.
Might
These impromptu ones,
as well have it closer.
you can come a bit nearer, otherwise it's just you in the window.
Come a little closer. Probably get better lighting as well.
Yes, that's a better
So we've got some
setup.
beautiful drone footage to go up on a video. I'm also thinking of doing some live streams on another platform called Rumble. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Rumble, but I've been experimenting with it because I'd like to be able to talk a little bit more freely. I do feel a little bit like on YouTube we're really restricted as to what we can say, and I think we're already in trouble because I think YouTube already have probably shadow banned me from being shared because so many people who subscribe to us now get no notification. So there's a possibility that's a thing. And I would like to be somewhere where we could talk about things openly without feeling like they might just shut my channel down. So what do you think? Do any of you use Rumble? Are any of you interested if we do just some sort of like friendly little chit-chat live streams on Rumble? Where we can be a little bit more open and talk about things, you know, on a more personal level without being not divisive or hateful, but more open to speaking, and I haven't got to constantly think about what I'm allowed to say. Because you have noticed probably over the last year or so, we're often sort of say something and then say, oh, sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. And I really, it's not the way we live our lives, really. No. I mean, the concept of being able to just openly speak about anything. And then you always feel you've got to put the end of that respectfully. Why has it got to be respectfully? You know what I mean?
You're second guessing yourself all the time.
Everything is all about sort of like, you know, I want to be able to say without hurting anybody's feelings, respectfully. I was looking the other day at some of the Monty Python sketches that came through. I was watching a little bit of Monty Python, and some of the sketches were coming through, hilarious stuff. Any of you Python fans out there? And I was thinking that they couldn't do it today. They'd have to constantly apologise for doing the Ministry of, you know, the sort of frog march on the Ministry of Funny Walks or something like that. You know, we have to find a place where we can have that sort of fun again. And you know, and I know even if I go on to Rumble and do some, so maybe we'll just do a little bit of content on there. I might be singing to an audience of nobody, but we will see. Is anyone commenting at all?
Chris Garton says, hi guys.
Chris, cheers.
And Duong Huang Bao Nyok, who might be our friend Lok, who says, near my TP Bank Min Bin. So I think that might be our friend.
Oh, we've been rumbled.
Oh.
Ooh, double entender. Lok. Sorry, we're coming for coffee.
Yes.
Later.
Yes, we will.
I got to have this rubbish Highland coffee first, and I'll come to your place.
But no, nobody's guessing.
But we came for, in fairness, we just came to get out the air conditioning.
Yes. And use their Wi-Fi.
Into the air conditioning and use their Wi-Fi. Yeah. Although I don't need it, I've actually got plenty of SIM, so...
No, but I do.
It. You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yes. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to answer these lovely comments.
Anyway, seems all of you are desperately guessing. Has anyone guessed at all, apart from...
Gary, John the Groats?
Well, Gary got it right off the bat.
Yeah, that's not far away. And it's the best time to go in October.
We are 90% sure that we're going to go to Taipei in Taiwan. Haven't been to Taiwan. I mean, a lot of you know we lived in Hong Kong for many years, and we've been in parts of Asia for a long time now. But we've kind of always been a bit wary about heading to Taiwan, because we also like to travel into that other great province of Taiwan, China. And the two are not necessarily mutually compatible. Once you go into one, you can technically get... You know, this is another thing, we could discuss this on Rumble, but we'll discuss it here, because I'm probably banned already, who cares and stuff. But you know, there are places in the world, like Michelle and I want to go to Iran, and we know that if we go to Iran, we can't then... Some of you may not know this, you can't then go into America. You lose your status. If you go into several places around the world where the US just won't let you in, or at least you have to beg.
You can't go in on an ESTA, you have to get
You can't get an ESTA, you have
visa.
to go and have an interview and check that you're not a spy for the Iranian government. And so it basically writes you off. Now we're kind of lucky because we actually have two nationalities, as many of you know, so we can kind of play around with that a bit. But the problem is going to Taiwan is actually puts you on a blacklist for going to China, and I love China. I mean, I would hate to think that I could have trouble going to a country that I love so much. So yeah, we're thinking we should go there because we're in the area.
Fidelity Quester is in.
Fidelity Quester? G'day, mate.
He's giving you a little yum emoji, obviously, for your coffee, or maybe your huge banh mi, but I think you finished yours.
Fidelity, FQ. We're probably going to be popping up to see Scott very shortly, so Fidelity watches Scott as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we might be going up to see Scott in the next few days. That's the plan anyway. So, and it may not happen. Because I know he's running around like a headless chicken trying to get stuff done as well, and we're kind of also trying to plan where we go next, so that's a possibility. Scott, by the way, is a YouTube buddy of mine. Some of you have come across him before. He also does YouTube, but he's here in Vietnam at the moment, so I always like to see people if we can.
I hope the sound's coming through. It's very loud in here.
Oh yeah, I hope that means... Is that... Oh no, this picks up
You're
quite
okay?
well. I would say you probably can hear me.
Probably better than I can hear you.
We did a motorbike tour.
Yeah. That's going up
just
soon.
a day or so, which will go up in the next sort of 7 days to a week. 7 days to a week?
7 days to a week? That's because
Next
sometimes
10 days or so.
You have an 8-day week.
And I'm riding along on the motorbike, and I've got two microphones on because I'm really conscious of the fact that one of them is going to be destroyed. The wind, it was quite a windy day as well.
Yeah, it was.
And I couldn't hear myself talking. I was literally going sort of like, we're coming up here to a lake, and I'm shouting like this. And I could barely hear my own voice with the rumble of the... Rumble? Another word from our sponsor today. Rumble. For the rumble of the bike and the wind and everything that was going on. So
Chris said the sound is fine. Chris said the sound is fine.
Thank you, Chris. When I got, and there were stages where I thought, this is pointless. Why am I even talking? I almost gave up commentating in parts because I thought this isn't going to work.
He kept saying it's not going to work. This.
And there are if I played the whole thing through to you, you'd hear me every now and again going, "Oh, this isn't going to bloody work." When I got it back, the sound was really good.
It was good. You
It was
couldn't
as
hear
if
the
I was
wind
in
or
like a
anything.
studio. It was like, wow, not. But it was really. This thing had picked up better sound than I could pick up with these. So, so that's interesting. So we did a motorbike tour around Tam Koth. Just on the motorbike, didn't get off. Stayed on and explored around.
It was fun.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Michelle's on the back. She actually you can't see her. I think it's quite funny because I keep talking to you, and every now and again you might just see a glance of Michelle behind my on the wing mirrors on the side.
And I gave up answering because I wasn't sure whether you were talking to the
Did you
video
have a microphone on as well?
No. I was just enjoying the sights and hanging on.
So yeah, I'm surprised because if you were in here with me now, and you finding it hard to hear me over there?
Yeah.
Michelle can't hear me over there, and she's basically.
I'm not far away. I'm just here.
Michelle's just there.
But there's so much ambient sound. It's not even just the music. It's echoey, isn't it?
It's just there's I can't show you, but there's a big cavernous ceiling above us, and the music is this dreadful sort of music just pounding. So the acoustics in here are really poor, and yet I think you'll probably hear me as clearly on these microphones as if we were in the apartment or something.
Yep. Yeah, they're very good. When they work and they're turned on.
So it's a Tuesday live stream. The other thing, okay, let's get serious. We've been kind of contemplating, Rumble and giving up YouTube altogether, to be honest. I'm sort of like, I find it a little hard sometimes because I do think that because I've been a little controversial about the lockdowns and what went on over the last 2 years, that there's a possibility YouTube has sort of stopped recommending us even to our own viewers. So we kind of were even thinking about just, knocking it on the head and stopping doing YouTube altogether. And now somebody's
drilling.
But we both kind of decided in the end that what we'll just do is only do what we enjoy for the next year and see how it goes. So what we're going to do is just roll and enjoy and take a handful of you, the good people that do follow us on a regular basis along with us. But we're not going to be really necessarily doing what you might expect that we will do. So we're not going to go and see things that you might. We don't know. Anyway, that's the plan.
We don't go and do the touristy.
But just stop making content altogether because it really is hard on YouTube nowadays to make any sort of income on the channel. I mean, we barely. We've never done this for money, right? We've never really done this for the actual value that comes in from YouTube. But it sometimes feels a little bit sort of heartbreaking. No.
Disheartening.
Disheartening. That's the word. A little disheartening. That even with all the stuff we've done over the last sort of 12 years, 13 years or so, that you barely make enough income to cover sort of 3 days of travel. So, but we still enjoy. So what we thought we'd do, rather than get disheartened about it and just kick it in touch, allow myself to talk nonsense that I want to by maybe going and doing that on Rumble. And some of you may come across, and if we only get 10 viewers, it doesn't matter because that's the 10 people I want over there anyway. And then also just to do stuff that gets some things off our bucket list. We want
all the things we've been talking about doing, and we said, oh well, maybe we shouldn't do that because we're doing YouTube, but then we're just going to do it.
Yeah, we're just going to do it. Sorry, you can't hear Michelle. She hasn't got a microphone on.
Yeah.
You could put the microphone on if you want, just to.
I have got a microphone on.
Oh. You can hear Michelle.
Hopefully you can hear me.
How dare she voice bomb my video.
Voice bomb. I tend to put the microphone on because a few people have said in previous live streams that they can't hear me when I'm saying the questions and things when I'm not sat next to you. So we tend to do that when I remember.
And what I've done this time is just sort of like I've photoshopped Michelle out. There's a new AI you've got here. She is actually sat here. But there's this new AI filter that you can just take people out of the background. So Michelle's sat here. That's my hand on the back of her head, and I've just AI'd her out, basically. There's another little button I can AI out your voice.
Oh, ha ha ha! We'd like that.
So we've really seen Vietnam differently. I mean, I feel also. I've been in this area, Tam Kok Ninh Binh. We've been here for. We said I think in the last live stream we've been here for about 10 days, almost 2 weeks. And we did the train video coming down, which was a lot of fun. But it rained for about 4 days solid. And I'm talking like not just a bit of rain, but just constantly rain for 4 days that we couldn't even really go out and film anything. So that was just some downtime, and it gave us a time to be a bit introspective and reflective on what we're doing. And I did find that Tamcock, although it's very pretty, and it actually is pretty.
It is very pretty.
We were just on holiday. We were on holidays, you know, but we were just there with lots of tourists. It was 80%. The population is on the streets and everywhere. It's 80% tourism. Now that's quite okay, and it should be because it's a very beautiful part of the world. But when the rush hour comes, when the coaches started coming in at midday from the city, it was overwhelmingly almost sort of like a Disney World of tourists. So we've come back down to Ninh Binh, the city of Ninh Binh, and if I say to you now, if I was coming to Vietnam and I wanted to enjoy Ninh Binh, don't listen to any of the tour guides, don't listen to any of your hoteliers, don't listen to anybody that's giving you information about where to go. Come to Ninh Binh, the city of Ninh Binh, find a nice hotel, get something that's well reviewed, and base yourself here and do. The problem is I'm giving advice to people that are only coming for a week, and so they just want to see.
But you know,
nobody travels like us, do they?
But we went on the motorbike, and when we went to that girl's place, and then we came back to Ninh Binh and then went to our homestay. It wasn't that far, was it?
No.
So it's quite easy. You can get a Grab. It's easy to go to Tamcock for a few hours.
No, but Grab's expensive here, and it's overly priced. So okay, scratch what I said, because it's kind of for people who travel like us on the long term. If you're a long-term traveller, if you're a YouTuber and you're coming here, base yourself in Ninh Binh and go out to Tamcock and
Tra Nan
for the day, see all the stuff, which is absolutely beautiful. Even maybe spend a night in one of the homestays out there, and then come back to the city. Why? Because the people here are friendlier. Generally, I mean, don't get me wrong. The hotel we were staying were friendly, but they were friendly because we were paying them to be friendly, and I really felt that.
Yeah, I think
felt that
they're very
almost everywhere.
jaded there, aren't they? I think everybody, the whole
I felt
area
like,
there.
you know, occasionally the mask drops and you can sort of see, okay, yeah, we're paying for your friendliness. And we're friendly people. Some people are complete animals when they travel and don't really deserve... Look, we come in, I'll turn the camera. They're actually...
Oh, they're putting the blinds in?
Yeah, they're actually putting roller blinds. So this maybe is a new store. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Maybe. Because there's one not far away by the lake, isn't there?
Isn't this one? That's this one. We are by the lake.
No, actually on the lake.
Oh yeah, there's another one
on the lake.
10 feet from us.
Yeah. So Chris says he liked the talking videos you did a while ago about not watching the news, etc.
Which ones?
Yeah, when you did it when we were back in Australia, and you did the talking head ones when you were saying how you didn't watch the news and how
right,
all the things that you did about 4 or 5.
Chris, I think they're the things that have got me into trouble. I think they're the actual content that have possibly made it so YouTube, because you know, there's a little button, for those of you that are into your tech, there's a little button now that you can press and it will transcribe everything of every video you watch. So you can watch a video of somebody talking for 4 hours and you can hit a little button and it will transcribe. In other words, write out every single word that person said as a presenter in seconds. So it can take a 1 hour video and do it in 3 seconds, all the text, and it gets it perfectly right. So YouTube don't even need somebody to look at what you're saying. They just can have certain words they're looking for that you're speaking. So if I say certain words that they are looking for, the words CERTA and certain words, they transcribe that like quicker than I can say it almost. So you can get into trouble for just saying words that are on the blacklist, or it might bring you to their attention. And so this is why I'm saying, and I think a lot of people might say, well, are you being paranoid? Maybe, but there's something on, I have the back end of our algorithms and how things, you know, go. So I've seen certain things that don't make sense. And a lot of people are getting the same. and more over the last 2 or 3 years. And also, by the way, when I do a live stream now, YouTube and this is something that could get me in trouble. We could talk about this on a Rumble platform. Anybody up for Rumble? Anybody fancy doing it? I'm probably going to do it anyway. So, you know, if 5 of you want to come over and we'll have a chat, Chris, if you want to come over, and if you'd be able to, Dwayne, who else is in? Anybody wants to come over? It's a similar app to YouTube, but I could talk and not second guess. Like I'm just about to say something now, and I'm second guessing myself. When I go live on YouTube, it by default goes portrait, and that means sort of like, you know, this way. Okay? By default, the YouTube camera app now wants us to film everything portrait. So you would only get sort of like faces and then 2 black.
That's for live streams.
For live streams, for making live streams. You have to go into the back settings, the advanced settings, and choose this wide format that you guys have got now. Now I know you don't need this thing here and you don't need this bit here, but if I'm on a lakeside or I'm up somewhere where or I'm sat with 2 people, if you go portrait with 2 people, you're going to both have to sit sort of like this to get yourselves in shot. So you have to go in now and choose, and it says recommended portrait mode. It's actually written in brackets. So in other words, don't go widescreen. Now, the reason they're doing this is because they really want YouTube to become TikTok. They just want people to go down YouTube and flick through videos with their thumb and watch a little bit, and when they get bored, they flick on and click on. Now, with the widescreen or the portraiture videos, that's not so easy. I mean, if you could click on the phone and just sort of go to the next one, because they're trying to build a whole new generation of audience. They know.
Yeah, you little fly there. Got him?
No. They know, just want to sort of flick through Instagram and TikTok. What they don't understand is that in the long term, that's not a healthy way to be consuming your entertainment. It just isn't. And it also means that we're slowing down people's ability just to be able to watch a documentary or sit and chat. So
I mean, YouTube isn't all about that. You know, they're promoting shorts and things, and that's what the other.
I know they said they were going to promote shorts, but I didn't realise quite how heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go onto the app now and you search for anything, you know, baking, it will give you more short results than it will give you long format.
DJ Gary says definitely less notifications from your channel than before. Let's get ready to rumble. And
Yeah.
Gracie Kitty says, anybody? Question mark.
So I am going to go on there, and I will. What we might do is we might start a little live stream like this on YouTube and chat about what we're up to, and then I might say, well, if you want to come over to Rumble, where we can just talk for, you know, half an hour, depending on what mood we're in, and just talk about nonsense. Now, I suspect the numbers will be even tinier than YouTube promote me to. But I don't really mind, because I will feel more comfortable to be able to say what I want. And let's hope. A few YouTube friends of mine said, "Oh, don't go onto Rumble because it's right wing, whatever right wing, right wing, left wing." I spent my whole life not even knowing what the difference is between right and left wing until about 3 years ago. I didn't even know what right and left wing was, because I had no interest in that sort of political divide. And now it's, you know, I can't go on Rumble because it might be right wing. I mean, I'm not right wing nor left wing. We're just people of common sense, common values, common interests, and nobody should be thinking that way. Anyway, so I'm going. This is the sort of crap that you're going to hear on Rumble, I'm afraid. I'm just going to be yabbering on about stuff, and some of you will say, oh, I used to have comments some years ago. Hopefully those people have all moved along now. They used to say, I'll never talk about anything political. And I think, well, you know, it's not political. It's opinions on certain things. These are not politics. These are just, you know, that's rather stupid, isn't it? I won't get political. Well, no, that's rather stupid. I can see something stupid, I'm going to point it out. So,
yeah, people don't have to agree with you, do they? They can disagree, but you can have your opinions.
I'm happy for people. I'm never going to... I mean, if you followed my comments at all over the years, I get some appalling comments come through, and I usually generally 99.9% of the time just say, okay, thanks, that's your opinion, this is my opinion. Occasionally there'll be somebody who's complete and utter numpty, and I might entertain them for an hour or so, but then the problem is you waste a lot of energy.
You do. DJ says, I love Steve's opinions on his lockdown videos, miss those curfew rants. And Gracie Kitty says, Rumble is speech freedom.
It kind of, it's what I want YouTube to be, and I think everybody who's a YouTuber desperately wants to sit down with a board of YouTube, Google, and say to them, please, 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 please stop trying to control our speech. You know, we want to be able to have every opinion in the world and be able to literally say stuff we used to be able to say that's a little bit offensive maybe, but we don't want to be snowflakes and just sort of say, you know, I want to talk about colour and religion. I want to be able to talk about colour and religion and ethnicity and make light-hearted of things without being sort of bullied into feeling that I can't. You know what I mean, Michelle?
I do.
You do? Michelle has to listen to me. She's my only little rumble. She listens to me. We should actually call it grumble.
Grumble, yes. Chris Garden says Odyssey is good also. You know Odyssey?
Yeah, Odyssey.
I don't know that one.
No, I know Odyssey, but I don't know, Chris. There are so many. I've just got this small feeling that Rumble is one of the few that's really going to make a difference, because
so many turn up and then, you know, different platforms appear and then suddenly disappear.
And I might even try and use another platform that I've never used, really. I've never even enjoyed, even in the slightest, Twitter.
Excuse me, X. It's not called
Am I your ex?
It's not called Twitter anymore.
Twitter, X.
You doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
That's another platform that of late has been called right-wing, but actually isn't. It's just saying you can speak without, you know,
everybody should have the right to say what they want to say, and
yeah.
you can agree with them or disagree with them, you know? You should sort of be allowed to say it's freedom of speech, isn't it?
And I've got a lot to say, and I've only got a year to say it, because a year from now I'm seriously thinking about kicking it all into touch and just going back and doing something a little bit normal. Unless I get a sense that what we're doing is worthwhile, there probably isn't much point in doing it. And it's only you guys, you wonderful, and it is just a handful. It probably is close to sort of 400 or 500 people that genuinely follow us on a regular basis and will watch almost anything, and a handful, maybe even smaller, that will come on and comment on a regular basis. That makes it worth the whole worthwhile, I think is the word I'm looking for, isn't it, Michelle?
So Michelle Shelley says, I love it when they've put Chris is honest and unfiltered. I think they might mean Steve, but maybe they think Chris is unfiltered and honest as well.
I can't see the comments Michelle's reading, so I'm not even sure if mine's coming up.
Steve, not Chris. I thought that's what you meant.
Yes.
And Chris says, Odyssey and Rumble are the most free speech. Twitter gone downhill.
Well, has Twitter gone downhill? I don't know. I mean, Twitter has certainly become a much... Oh, I dare say, I'll start apologising for the rubbish. I think anything that takes a step between, and even if they don't fully pull it off, don't give up on a platform like Twitter, who makes an announcement to say we are going to be a free speech absolutist channel, and as soon as they do anything wrong, everybody goes, you're not, you didn't let, you know, Dave the raving loony speak or something, and you think, well, yeah, but, you know, there are arguments to allow everybody to speak, but sometimes you have to, and sometimes you have to allow that to evolve a little. You can't expect everything to necessarily happen overnight. I do think we need free speech absolutists, and that's what, you know, Elon Musk effectively said he was going to be, and he clearly hasn't been. But you do have to allow these things to evolve. You can't expect them to be perfect overnight. And also, you've got to remember, and let's talk about it here, we might as well completely nail the lid on the coffin. You've got to remember that there is immense powers out there that don't want it to succeed. You know, there are billionaires upon billionaires, and there aren't that many of them in the world, but there are enough that literally can't bear the idea of Twitter or Rumble succeeding. So when you think that there aren't that many people in the world that have that sort of immense power and wealth, you have to allow some of these platforms to make their foibles and make their mistakes as we start to see them sort of evolve. And we hope for the best for them. But by just writing them off and saying, okay, you didn't let so-and-so come back on, or you didn't let somebody else have free speech, or you're too right-wing or you're too left-wing, and I don't even know what right and left-wing means, to be frank. And I know a lot of you will say, well, of course, right-wing is this and left-wing is that, but it's always the same. I mean, whatever happens tends to be, if it's really bad, it's far left or it's far right, but they're both basically equal versions of the same thing in many ways. And I know people will say, okay, well, communism or the communal rights for everybody to have socialist sort of values and things is a left-wing thing. But then communism, which is also the community of everybody having everything, is also right-wing. I mean, it's just nonsense. There's good and there's bad, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there's something in between.
Gracie Kitty's off to bed. It's 1:21 in Canada, so good night.
We're not going to be on for long. We're just having a little stop here in banh mi, and we had a little banh mi in Highland Coffee, and we had a banh mi twig.
A twig. Yes, it definitely was a twig.
So I can either just sort of double down and do it a little bit more on YouTube, but I think I wouldn't mind trying out on another platform. I think it could be worth, it might just allow me to be more right-wing or left-wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll get my little sort of uniform on and start sort of frog marching around the bedroom. And we need a platform, and whether that ends up being Rumble or Twitter or Odyssey or any number of the other, or YouTube even, we need a platform that's no wing at all. It's just, you know, get on, produce stuff. And I think that also includes sort of like allowing channels like my own channel to be credited for what we've done, because you know we've built up an audience of 350,000 followers over a number of years, of people that have said, I like this content and therefore I'm subscribing to it. And if I look at my analytics, it will tell me what they've subscribed from, the sort of content that we subscribe to. Now, why should we not also at the same time have the respect of YouTube of being recommended to a small percentage of those people? You know, YouTube, when they first went from Google Plus, everybody remember the debacle that was Google Plus? So when they went from this Google Plus, they introduced this new button. They were so excited about it, they almost wet their drawers. I mean, it was so exciting. It was a button called subscribe, but it had another button where you could also hit the bell if you wanted to really subscribe. So there was like the subscribe button and the really, I'm all in. I want you to let me know that Steve's making a video, come hell or high water. That was that button. If you haven't hit it, by the way, don't even bother. I mean, it's the thumbs up, it's the subscribe button, and then above there's a button saying let me know everything. So could you imagine in the old days you subscribed to sort of like USA Today or something like that, and you sort of went to the news agent and say, oh, can I get a subscription for USA Today? How much is that? Oh, it's like $30 a year. Okay, $30 a year. Do you want the paper though? Well, yeah, I subscribed to it, haven't I? He said, yeah, but do you want the paper as well? And you say, well, yeah, I've just subscribed to it. And they say, yeah, but if you tick this box, you'll actually get the paper. But if you just subscribe to it, we might send it to you. We might not. He said, but I paid and I've asked. So I would like it. Yeah, but just tick the really want button as well. All right. I want the paper as well. Here's my 30 bucks. Here's my USD subscription money, and I really want it. All right. And then the next month, it doesn't turn up.
Because they couldn't be bothered.
And they couldn't be asked. They just couldn't be asked to send it to you. And you sort of, you ring them up and say, hello, say, for customer service, press 2 now. Hello, for, go back to the main menu, press 6 now. And you can sit there and listen to hold music for about 4 hours, and nobody answers the phone, and nobody's listening, and nobody gives a damn. And you think,
Why did I
what
bother?
was the point of that? I mean, they were so excited by that idea, and all of us had to change, right? It had to be, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Subscribe means subscribe. So we've had people over the years that have subscribed to us and said, oh, I like Steve, I'm going to subscribe. And YouTube have just ignored it. They've just ignored it. They just said, okay, that goes into the, into the bin. And then the ones that have said subscribe, and because you will get notifications if you watch our stuff. If you watch our stuff on a regular basis, it will notify you. But anyone that basically subscribed to us over the last 10 years will never get a notification. And I know that because and we all know that because of all the friends I've subscribed to over the years, but I suddenly go, oh, I wonder how Dave's doing. And you go on and say, oh, he's been making a video every day for the last 10 years. I've not been notified.
We thought of someone yesterday, and we suddenly went on to them, and they've been every day.
And they've been, tirelessly creating content, and you think, and how many hundreds of thousands of people are out there that are doing that and just never getting their stuff put in front of you? So I don't know. I need something that's more genuine than YouTube. I need something. If you say subscribe, and if they are pedantic enough to say really subscribe, so you have another button, at least those people then do get notified. And if they get like, oh, there's too many notifications coming through from Steve, they can unsubscribe.
Absolutely.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're thinking of going to Taiwan.
Yes, that's our next plan. Anybody in Taiwan? What should we do?
Well, I know who's in Taiwan. Danny's in Taiwan.
Danny's in
And I did
Taiwan,
say
yes.
hello to Daniel. So he knows we're coming over.
Yes.
Or potentially coming over. So that'll be nice. I don't know if we'll manage to get a chance to say hello. I haven't seen Daniel since Malaysia.
Yeah.
Quite some time ago. So, when paths collide, and that's another friend of ours who was subscribed to hit the ding dong button and never got a notification in sort of like, but fortunately a handful of our closer friends, we kind of do remember to go on and check them, as you kindly do to us on occasions. But maybe what we should have been doing is getting the email addresses of everybody over time. I know there was some people that are smart enough to do that. I've never been bothered to, but just sort of drop an email to you all, say, oh, there's a new video, and you can come across and check it out. There's a lot of action going on here, all about putting up some roller blinds. They're probably saying, yeah, we can do the corner over there where those two are sat if they move out of the way.
They've made the whole 3 walls of glass, haven't they? So it's going to be very hot.
Yeah, they always do that. The Highland coffees are always glass wall places.
But at least they have put blinds up, so that's
they
good.
have to have the. Let me just turn you around again. So you have to have lots of that air conditioning up in the roof to keep these places cool, lofted ceilings. But it does mean the acoustics in here is
not good.
Is appalling. So I'm just going to have a little read of the comments while you guys have a little look at on the right hand side. These 2 gentlemen stood up on the right. They are doing the work.
So JD says, hi, are you going to Malaysia yet? No makan today? Makan?
No, no, we're not going to Malaysia just yet. We're not. Actually, my friend in Malaysia just messaged me today and said, when are you coming to Penang? And I said, we can't just keep rocking up to Penang we could, but we can't keep just rocking up to the same places. And I want to go somewhere a little bit different and get a bit of a wake up.
Yeah, new country.
New countries.
Yes.
New countries. We are actually coming back to Vietnam. We only were here. We're here for less time than we anticipated, because we're going to come back shortly. So we'll have been to Vietnam 3 times.
3 times
in
this
6
year.
months. Or we will
That
have done
wasn't
by
the
the
plan.
end of the year. That wasn't the plan. But shortish visitors and new cities. Like we've never been to Saigon before.
No.
We've never been to Ninh Binh before.
No.
So that's kind of new for us.
Yes. So it's been good. And we always like Hanoi, so that's always good. So Christmas in Vietnam? No.
Pardon me?
JD says, so Christmas in Vietnam?
Chris?
No, JD said, so Christmas, see the acoustics is very bad. Christmas.
You see what I mean? Now, if I had my headphones in and I was listening to what you're listening to, I'd be able to hear Michelle. Because she's 5 feet away from me and this place is like being in an aircraft, I can't even hear what she's saying.
He said, so Christmas in Vietnam. Practicing your lip reading.
Whatever Michelle says, if you could just type it there, which I then have to put my glasses on to see. God.
And JD, no.
No, not Christmas in Vietnam. No. We've got some ideas for Christmas, but we'll wait and see. They could change.
Yes, it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there.
October now.
So Christmas is coming up. Is anybody, look, listen to me. You know I love
Listen to Steve.
Christmas food, Christmas goodies. Now is the time, at the very latest, that you want to start making your mincemeat. So, if I remember, mincemeat. Well, no, mince pie's a bit early.
No, for your mince pies. Sorry.
But now, if you make the mincemeat, it will mature and get stronger and richer. And actually, you should have probably done it a couple of months ago. But now, get and make your mincemeat now. Get a big tray out. Get loads of, preserved dry fruits of anything that's in season that you can get hold of, and follow my recipe and make a big tray of mincemeat and jar it up. You can bottle it up ready for Christmas time. In a couple of months you're going to thank me for saying that, because you're going to go into the supermarket and see a little tiny jar of Robinson's mincemeat for sort of $15 for a couple of teaspoons of mincemeat, and you're going to say, oh, it doesn't matter, I've got my bucket full.
And if you put a jar away, like when we go back to Australia, we occasionally stumble across a jar of mincemeat.
We occasionally do. When we go back to Australia, we'll say, oh, I made that 3 years ago, and it's so good. The other thing you could be making now is your Christmas pudding, of course, and your Christmas cakes. They all are products that get better with age. If you didn't make Christmas pudding last year, which you should have done, I told you before, then you could at least start making one now and let it get some age, let it get some sort of flavour into it. So yeah, get and make your Christmas puddings. The recipes are on my channel. You can look at the luxury versions of Christmas puddings, or you can look at the cheaper, sort of more budget-friendly versions of Christmas puddings. Or even
little individual ones.
Or little tiny individual ones if you're on your own and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to sit here on my own with a little candle in your Christmas pudding, all sad and lonely. Well, then you can have a little Christmas pudding, and when we do a live stream, if I remember, and sort of come and keep you company, and you can sort of like put a sparkler. Now I'll get in trouble with Christmas Day. Somebody will be sat there with a sparkler and a Christmas pudding.
All alone.
Where's Steve?
Steve told me to do this.
Yeah. What's the word? Like the small print. Read the small print. Disclaimer. I might not be there.
So Chris Gartner says in Tesco's it's £3 for 150 gram single serving of Christmas cake.
Oh.
And DJ Me says Christmas cake recipe is brilliant.
Listen to me, right? It might be £3. Who said that?
Chris.
Chris. It might be £3, but it's also rubbish.
Yeah, but 150 single serves, so it's a tiny little...
But it's not even good Christmas cake. It's all flour.
Yeah, and sugar.
It's all flour and sugar. It's got
no
about
substance.
£7, did he say? Pounds?
So it's £3.
Pounds, okay. Yeah. So it's got about 7 pence worth of product inside it. A load of sugar, 5 raisins, and a little bit of flour, and they might have stuck some more sugar in the way of like icing on top. You can make a Christmas cake for 1/10 of that price, a whole cake, and you can have it packed full of brandy and fruits and flavours and candied peel. You can make your own candied peel, only take the skin off the oranges, a little bit of sugar. It's so easy to make. You don't have to buy the
Chris said I made your Christmas cake last year, it was excellent.
Yeah, you can just, it's just...
And you can make a big one, slice it up, you don't have to eat it all at once.
And Christmas cake lasts for years. It's like wedding cake, you know, you can keep the Christmas cake for 2 or 3 years. If you want, wrap it up, put it away, it won't go off, it won't go mouldy, it won't go
eat it throughout the year.
And you will have a cake there that is so good compared to anything you can buy. I mean, I look at the cakes over here in Ireland, and they're all sort of like 30, 40, 50,000 dong for a cake, and they're probably quite nice, But it's a little bit like when you go into a restaurant nowadays and they give you a scone or scone. Get it right, scone, not a scone. It's a scone.
Your Nutella.
Huh?
Your Nutella.
It's not a ston. You don't throw a ston at somebody. You throw a stone at somebody, and therefore you throw a scone at somebody. So it's a scone. And any of you that say it the other way, you're wrong. There's division for you. Keep that for Rumble, Stephen. So, no, I mean, if it's going to have division, it should be over the idiots that say scone.
Yeah, over the important things.
Over the really important things in life, the division between those that say scone and scone. Anyway, you go into a restaurant, back on track, and they give you a scone with clotted cream. And that piece of clotted cream, it's got no flavour. It doesn't taste buttery. It doesn't stick to the roof of your mouth and sort of rub your tongue on it for 10 minutes as the buttery goodness sort of melts on your mouth. It's just a blob of sort of regular, sort of homogenised white cream that they've thickened up with some starch, and they've just put it on your plate and said, here, you've got a scone with clotted cream and a big load of strawberry flavoured sugar. If you make your own produce, I should go back into pushing this more often. We will eventually, we'll stop, and I will bully you all into just, because I always used to remember years ago, you'd watch these documentaries, particularly with that Norbert, Jamie Oliver, would go and say to people, oh, it's so hard for people to, for families to make a meal, and you get people come on and say, oh, well, I can't afford the time and I can't afford the produce, and you think, yes, you can. These the same people that go to McDonald's and think it's good value. They say, oh, well, they can only eat sort of convenience food because they can't afford good food. You think, no. I could make an entire meal for a family for the cost of one McDonald's meal. And it would be better quality, better produce. So you can actually eat really well for a fraction of the cost. Although, they are messing. The powers that be, conspiratorial, they are messing with little things. Like the last time I went back to Australia, I noticed that when you used to be able to go and buy a little bit of ginger, if you want a bit of ginger to just go in a stir fry or something, you used to be able to go and get a bit of ginger. You could get a little knob of ginger, and it might be like $20 a kilo, but you put it on the scales and it would be like 58 cents. Brilliant. Now when we go back to Australia, they've got one piece of ginger in a grotty little cellophane box, selling it for $3.10. And if you think about it, that's gone up. It's just a convenience, but now that makes, so if you're paying $2 or $3 Australian, which is about 20 cents US, today's exchange rate, then it makes a stir fry really expensive. And those sort of things shouldn't be expensive. So they are kind of messing with our ability to create natural produce cheap by making little things like that. And that's in a very short period. I used to go back to Australia and I could buy ginger and all sorts of little extras and onions and things and just get them per kilo. The big corporations now have made those things individual pieces at a set price. So we need a powerful platform in which we can all complain without getting sort of censored.
Into trouble.
Yeah.
So JD says, where would you like to be for Christmas? The UK or Australia or Penang?
JD, where'd you pick Penang out for that?
We were talking, I suppose, about Malaysia.
I don't want to be rude about Penang because it's a lovely place, but it's almost like you said, really, New York, Tokyo, Skegness.
Well, Christmas is all about spending it with family, so really the actual destination for me is...
Yeah, it wouldn't be...
It doesn't really matter.
I've just likened Penang to Skegness.
Nothing wrong with Skegness?
No, that's what I meant. There's nothing wrong with Penang.
I know.
So Christmas is all about, being with people, but actually, having said that, we've...
There's too much going on, isn't there, for
There
you?
is too much for me, all over the place. Probably neither. I have a weird thing about Christmas. I really, the only thing I'd probably like to do at Christmas time is to be with my kids, but at the same time, I don't need Christmas for that to be a thing. I don't rate these things like Christmas or Easter or birthdays as that important. So I can have Christmas. I mean, we have Christmas in July, is it, in Australia? Yep. And Christmas to me could be any day of the year.
Absolutely.
Get together. So we're actually meeting up with some family in November, and that's going to be our Christmas. So.
And Chris says, I've tried making clotted cream several times, but it never works.
Right, Chris.
Probably
it is tricky. I think the problem is, let's talk about clotted cream before I end this live stream, because I was the very first person on YouTube to ever share, and I stand by this, to ever share the concept of making clotted cream at home. Now almost everybody's done it, but none of them really give us stuff about clotted cream. Whereas I basically am the Archbishop Cardinal Pope of clotted cream. It means a lot to me, and to these people, like, you know, what's his name, the food guy that did one, I don't know. Anyway, you can tell as they're making it, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. They don't really care about what they have. They just want the views. And a lot of people saw that my clotted cream video did very well, so almost everybody copied it. And I've had a few videos like that over the years. And I stand by that 100%. I mean it. They just copy it, but I've watched their videos and thought, they don't care about clotted cream. They're not interested in it. So, clotted cream, by the way, Chris, you have to understand, when I saw clotted cream, we used to make clotted cream over a poêle or a stove. You could like reduce your cream down on a wood burner. So when you look at the original process of making clotted cream in the West Country of England, where they used to make it a lot, and they do it in other parts of the world as well, they generally would take proper cream, the cream from the cow, you know, the rich, fatty, buttery cream, which often had a lot of butter fat content in it, and they would just reduce it down on the stove or even in a cooling stove until it basically separated, and on top you would get the clotted cream, the clouts of cream, and on the bottom you get all the whey and the separated milks at the bottom. What happens now is they go into these crappy supermarkets and buy a little tub of clotted cream, and it's not clotted cream, it's basically flour and homogenized glump, and they put it on their scone and they think, oh, that's clotted cream. Well, it isn't. Clotted cream is not thick, smooth, shitty cream. It's basically clotted cream. It's lumps and clumps and textures of beautiful clotted, like clots of blood, like clots of I get so annoyed because I constantly see people saying, oh, my clotted cream's very watery on the bottom. Yes, of course it has. There's whey protein in the cream, so it separates out. And on the top you end up with the butter fats mixing in with the cream content, and you get this thick clots of butter fat and cream together. And below that you have a wet, watery whey. And you mix the two, you don't waste it, you don't pour the whey off, you mix the two together, not mix, like you scoop the two layers together and you put it on your scone, and there will be a little bit of milkiness that comes off as well, and that's the sourness you get from clotted cream. The sweetness comes from the cream, the fattiness comes from the butter fat, and then you eat that with your jam and your things, and that's what is clotted cream. The mistake is that you've seen all these idiots on YouTube who don't understand. Food Wishes is one of the bloody idiots that made a ridiculous video on clotted cream. Can I say that?
You said it now.
and they haven't got a clue. They're just not interested, but they want the clicks and views. So they make these videos, and you can see that they've used low butter fat content cream. They've used cream that hasn't got enough content in it, and they end up with all this whey, and they pour it off. Or they say, oh, it doesn't work very well, there's too much liquid at the bottom. And I get this all the time. You do need cream that's good quality, and you should absolutely get whey or thin milk a thin milk at the bottom. And that's just what clotted cream is. And if you used to see it made in the West Country, they used to make it in little pots, like earthenware pots, not much different to the size of my coffee cup here, or a little bit bigger sometimes. And you would get, on top, you'd get the fatty, buttery cream, and at the bottom you'd get the whey, and you'd use the whole thing. And it was food after all is a combination of textures, flavours and temperatures. That's the sort of, that's the three things. And that's why clotted cream's so beautiful, because you've got the buttery fats of the butter, you've got the smooth sweetness of the cream, which is basically what's the sugar from cream. It's milk is a lactose. So you have the sweetness of the lactose in the cream, you have the fat of the butter, you have the runniness and milkiness and slight sourness, because it's actually got whey fats in there, so you get a sour bitterness in there. And then on top of that, you've got a crumbly warm scone and a big dollop of sweet. That's what food's all about. That's
You've
why
got to have your high
I
fat.
don't like Italian gelato. Because when I go to Italy, they always go, "Oh, I make the best gelato." I said, "Where's the crunchy nut in there?" They just go, "Oh no, I've got this one. This one's smooth. This one's smooth. This one's smooth." I said, "Yeah, but where's the texture in there? Where's the flavours? Where's the things?" Okay, stick it on some apple pie, because I can't eat that ridiculously smooth gelato nonsense.
Anyway, I'm just saying, your cream has got to have a high percentage of fat in it, and also in Australia they sell a lot of thickened.
Yes,
with
in
thickeners.
Australia and lots of other parts of the world, you get what looks like thick cream, but it's often called thickened cream. And if you look on the back, it'll have gelatine and sometimes flour and things in it. So that won't do, because when that separates, it doesn't work the same way as cream.
I've got the other fats in it.
So you need to look at the back of the packet. Traditional cream could be as 47, 55, 58% butter fat inside it, real old traditional cream. So you do have to look for creams that have got a high butter fat content and no additional additives in.
No thickeners in.
All right.
Yes.
That little rant over it. I'm going to get off, because we got to walk back and the sun's gone down a little bit, so it's not quite so hot. Loved you all. Anything we want to say, Michelle?
No, I think we've.
Or
should I say? I think you've covered it all.
We call this the clotted cream episode.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Oh, Julie's in. Hi, Julie.
Julie, we're just about
Sorry,
to,
Julie, we're just about to finish
head
up
off.
here, but you can go back and watch what we've said.
Please go back and watch from the beginning, and then you'll know what we're talking about, where we might be going next, and you'll also know what we might be doing with the channel over the next year or so. And there's a few things in there worth watching, and even a sort of 1 hour talk about clotted cream.
Yes.
That's all. Take care. Michelle and I see you next time. Be good.
Bye.